It's what happens. Disobedient. So we give praise, esteem, and honor to the Most High Yahuwah Bashem Yahushua this day. John chapter 5, verse 39. Search the scriptures, for in them you think you have eternal life, and there they will testify of me. And you won't come to me that you might have life. I receive not honor from men, but I know you, that you have not the love of Elohim in you. I come in my Abba's name, and you receive me not. Another shall come in his own name, him you will receive. How can you believe which receive honor one of another, and receive not the honor that comes from Elohim only? Do not think that I will accuse you. The Abba, there's one that accused you, even Moses, in whom you trust. But had you believed Moses, you would have believed me, for he wrote of me. But if you believe not his writings, how shall you believe my words? The 14th chapter of Proverbs, verse 34. That nigga with the bird trick. You hit that nigga with the bird trick? The baby. He's sleeping. He is the baby right now. 1434. Righteousness exalts a nation, but sin is a reproach to any people. The king's favor is towards a wise servant, but his wrath is against him that calls shame. Let's look at this word reproach, because it says sin is a reproach to any people. The word for reproach is kased. It's the same word that's used for goodness, kindness, and faithfulness, but it also means reproach and shame. It's actually used for that. It's used for reproach once, wicked thing once. That's about it. You got Kot, Samak, and Dalet. Proceed. Kot, Samak, and Dalet. Proceed. Kot, Samak, and Dalet. So if you want to take Samat, you have a thorn, you have to support, to protect, to turn, a sharp and piercing shield, to grab hold, and infinite. We have Kot, Samat, and Dalet. Shalom, man. So if you're already looking at that Samat, you're going to take thorn because of it being a reproach. If you're looking at Kot, of course, you know that you could either say to separate, but let's look at the other ones for it. Because if it's dealing with reproach, it's dealing with something that ain't no good. We'll look at it and say, instead of, you can say separate or divide. Or you can even look at it how it's a wall or a fence. But when you get to that last one of that Dalet, sit back and see, you can look at your movements or your actions as a thorn that separates you. Now, remember what it said, reproach, right? It said reproach, say sin is a reproach to any people. So I want you to come over here to 2 Chronicles chapter 6. Because see, this is the thing that our people don't like to deal with at this particular time, that is sin is what is causing shame. This is why Yahuwah said in Ezekiel 36 that you ought to be ashamed for all of your doings. You know what I'm saying? Because you cause him to be shamed because of your disobedience. 2 Chronicles chapter 6. It might be chapter 7. It is chapter 7. It is chapter 7, what I desire. Chapter 7 and verse 17. 2 Chronicles chapter 7 and verse 17. From 2 Chronicles chapter 7, verse 17, Revelation 18. He said, as for you, if you will walk before me as David your father walked, and do according to all that I've commanded you, and shall observe my statutes and my judgments, then will I establish the throne of your kingdom according as I covenanted with David your father, saying, there shall not fail you a man to be a ruler in Yasharal. That's another reason, if you didn't recall, why Yahushua had to come from the house of David, because Yah made a covenant with David. See, a lot of people don't realize that is a covenant agreement. Anytime Yahuwah makes a covenant with anyone, he does not break that covenant. Who broke that covenant between Yahuwah and David? No, David didn't break it. Solomon broke it. The exact man who he talking to right here in Chronicles, Solomon broke it. Because he was telling Solomon, you do this right here, you'll be good. But y'all know what happened. Solomon likes strange buns. No, he broke it in the fact of he worshiped other gods because of his wives. It didn't annul the covenant on Yahuwah's part. It annulled it on Solomon's part. Solomon broke it. So if Yahuwah would have chose to walk away from that covenant, he'd have been justified. Mainly because in 2 Chronicles 7, Yahuwah's talking directly to Solomon. And he's telling him, if you walk before me as David, then I'll do this here and I'll establish your throne according as I covenant with David, your father, saying a man won't fail. And he did exactly what he said, because a man didn't fail with Yahushua, but there's a period of time you ain't had no king because of that, because that nigga buck. Same token that we broke his covenant, he could have said, you know what, I don't fool with Israel no more. We'll never really take that into account, that he made agreements with people, and y'all don't break the agreement. It's always the people. Verse 19, but if you turn away and forsake my statutes and my covenants, which I set before you, and shall go and serve other gods and worship them, then will I pluck them up by the roots out of my land, which I have given them, and this house, which I have sanctified for my name, will I cast out of my sight, and will make it to be a proverb and a byword among all nations. Now we'll bring something up to your memory. Well, let's take a look at byword and proverb. First, we'll look at byword, and the word is shin inna. It's a sharp word, a taunt, or a jib. And you have this characters. You have Shan, you have Yod, you have Noon, you have Yod, and you have Hey. So remember, this is a sharp word. It's a cutting word. That's what a byword is. It's a sharp word. It's a cutting word. Y'all know what a jib is, don't you? I know you have a cut of your jib, which is how an individual operates, but then a jib could be something as an offhand remark or an unflattering term. Let's look back at the white folks' definition. Jib, G-I-B-E. You ain't ever heard somebody say, I like the cut of his jib? That's a very, it's a very old term. I mean, well, the English language is retarded, so. And this one here, it is an insulting. Yeah, jib. Like I told you. No, jib. That G makes a J sound. It's an insulting or mocking remark or a taunt, making insulting or mocking remarks or jeer. That's the English definition of that word. But that's how it's pronounced, though. I mean, it's not a word that's used frequently, but that's how you don't like I say, you don't pronounce the G like that. It's pronounced as a J. So it's jib, and the E and the E is not used. But now, when somebody say they like to cut somebody's jib, in that instance, as a phrase, they're just saying that, I like the individual style. It's a cool guy. Don't ask me. I don't make this stuff up. I just inform. I have nothing to do with that. So go tell God for that. You got Sean, Yod, Noon, Yod, Hey. Now this is for a taunt. So if we're gonna take that Sean, you definitely want to say what? We'll take Hey and say behold. We're gonna take that Yod, make it right hand, make it Yahusha. So behold, Yahusha is consumed by what? What consumed him? If we got another Yod, what would you say consumed him? His works. Isn't another one is his worship, because his worship of his father got him consumed as well. Let's take a look at why we would say that. John chapter 4, about verse 16. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. I appreciate that, because I definitely forgot. Behold in Revelation 18. Well, we'll grab this John chapter 4 and verse 16. Because while we're looking at this, because you should remember, what did he say he would do with that house? He would get rid of it. And he would cause it to be a byword and a proverb. What did those people do when he was on that tree? Because remember, in John chapter 2, and this is bringing stuff back to your remembrance. In John 2, he say, destroy this house, and I'll build it back in 3 days. But he spoke of the temple of his body. Remember that they couldn't understand the point of that he was the temple. In the book of Jeremiah, he tell you what? The temple of Yahuwah. The temple of Yahuwah are these. And he was talking about having good judgment, not being evil, repenting and amending your ways. And see, our people don't want to hear stuff like that. And as we go through this here in regards to sin being a reproach, I guess we'll have to look at this here, man, and I'm going to just see what everybody's answers are to a particular question in a moment. But John chapter 4 and verse 16. Make it verse 15. He said, the woman said unto him, sir, give me this water that I thirst not, neither come hither to draw. Yahushua said unto her, go and call your husband and come hither. The woman answered and said, I have no husband. Yahushua said unto her, you well said, I have no husband. For you had 5 husbands, and whom you now have is not your husband, and that you said truly. He said, at least you honest you a hope. He said it in a nice way. Because he pretty much told it in a nice way. Oh, you're right. You ain't got no husband. You've been hoeing for a long time. You know what I'm Is that not what he just said? That's what he said. It's just, he said, you not having a husband. You said the truth. Because you's a bust down. But it's okay, baby, because I'm here to save you. I see a man in here every day. I just be sitting, look at him. He don't even know what he getting himself into. That's what Solomon told you to do. I look out my window, see if I see the son's bored to understand it. Look at this stupid nigga about to go in that whole house and get the Bible. The illest part is, it's written like that in the text. So that means they in heaven like this here. Look at this dummy. Look at him. He finna get God. Should we warn him? Let him go and get God. Let him learn the hard way. He don't tell him, you ain't gonna get it. Shoot, you ain't supposed to, but hey man, say man, he ain't supposed to get it. He would have told him the last 2 times. He don't back around there with this bald-headed hoe. Let him go ahead and get took down. Maybe he'll learn. For real though, like he'll warn you a couple times, but you keep on being stupid, let it go ahead and crash, man. Let's see what his end gonna be. That's what the book say. Let me see what his end gonna be. Because he keep going around. That's why the book tell you don't lust after a woman with your eyelids. Because you be like, boy, she's so fine. That's why you niggas be seeing niggas sitting around here miserable. I hate my baby mama, bro. I hate that hoe. I bet you do. I bet you do. I mean, I told my homeboy that when he got his baby mama pregnant, when we were jits. He was like, my mama told me to leave her alone, but that butt was fat. I said, nigga, I told you that too. Nigga, I know her family. You know her family. You know the stock where she came from. Yeah, we might be 16, 17 years old, nigga, but you want to breed with that? I'm looking at her family. I'm straight. I wouldn't care if she got butt naked and handed me $1,000, say, come get it. I'm going to pay. I'm going to go home beat my meat. I don't want to take the chance. Well, some women, well, you got to pass. Well, I don't care how fine she is. Well, I'm gonna pass. You know what I'm talking about? Shoot. When you ain't got no sense, you be like, this here, I'm finna strike this hoe. But when you got some sense, I'm finna pass. Cause I'm telling you, you'll be look like the risk ain't the reward ain't worth the risk. That little tickle in your pickle ain't worth the lifetime of hell you gonna receive. Cause now you gotta deal with her and her family. Oh, I'm out. You come up reason it don't work. You like to say, you know it work. You think about that fat girl at work. you think about something, anything. You think about something. You trying to think about that time you was on the roller coaster, you was scared when you was a kid, you peed on yourself, I got to go. What's that big fat comedian nigga? I got to go. You don't know about that. What did the Lord say? He said every temptation, he make a way out. But guess what people be doing? Don't sign. Leave. What you say? You don't even want to look at it. You see them tell you to leave. That's how merciful who he is, but when we realize that he opened the exit door. You had a way out, but you liked it here. What's that mean to say the little dog be house be on fire? Talking about this is my life right now. I'm okay. No, you ain't okay. Get out of there. Don't be simple all your life. Verse 19. The woman said unto him, Sir, I perceive you are a prophet. That's all it took for him to tell her she was a hoe. And he said he a prophet. Ain't that something? That's all it took. I'm just saying it like that because he had to be plain. Because at the end of the day, that's what he told. He did it discreetly in a nice way. You know, it's a nice way to tell a woman she a hoe. And then sometimes you got to be direct. Only reason why I mentioned that because I told you before, like the mindset of the woman is what can set up the whole direction of what a group of people are going. You know what I'm saying? Like we live in a society where liberal concepts in a woman are what is being pushed. So that's why you see the stuff that you see. You know what I'm saying? That's why you see dudes who think it's cool to dress up like a woman and crack jokes and be homosexual because women stamp it. You know what I'm saying? Or being saying we are equal and we want to do this and want to do that. Like I was looking at the game the other night, they had a female referee out there. What's she gonna do? What you out there for? You know what I'm talking about? Same way a brother was talking about, and I remember this when it first happened. When they started letting female reporters in the locker room, men walk around butt naked, meat swinging. Now this been going on for years. But you know they wouldn't let a man and the females walk in the locker room, but the women walk around butt naked. Yeah, number bulldaggers in there, but nevertheless. You know what I'm talking about? Because then they would say, but see, that's not equality, because guess what? You're not equal. It's just certain things that women do that men can't do. And it's things that men do that women can't do. And nobody shouldn't be seeking to say that we can do all things. That doesn't make any sense. You know what I'm saying? Why would you as a woman want to do what a man does? Why would a man want to do what a woman does? That don't make any sense. That's why you have confusion. And that's why you got your sons with pants on that are probably about 3 sizes too small. You know what I'm talking about? Your daughter around here thinking she a man and she can do what a man can do and talk to dudes any kind of way and then get upset when a nigga punch her in her jaw. Then she talking about, I'm a woman, you shouldn't have hit me. Well, you forgot you was a woman about 10 minutes ago. 10 minutes ago, you thought you was a man. Just like I was talking to my home about this here about, they feel like all these women getting snatched. And I go back to what I was telling y'all about a couple weeks ago. You getting snatched because you ain't got no male protection. You only want male protection when you get threatened. You know what I'm saying? In order to get male protection, you have to have submission. You can't just say because I'm a black woman, you ought to protect me. You know what I'm saying? When you're disobedient, you're disrespectful, you're rude, you shun that protection because I'm a woman, hear me roar, I don't need no man. Well, you don't need my protection either. You know what I'm talking about? I was riding the other day. You got young girls walking around on the street, 10, 12, 13, 14 years old. Of course they're going to get snatched. Who going to protect them? You want to travel around the world, 4, 5 deep? We talked about that already. Who y'all going to stop? Not a soul. You know what I'm talking about? Ain't a man walking this earth scared of a group of women. I promise you they're not. They are not terrified. They're not scared. They don't put no fear in their heart. If you had men walking with you, guess what they're going to do? Think twice. They may not be as quick to run up on a group of women if they see as 5, 6 dudes with them because they know they're going to be in for a little tussle. But they feel like, what is the woman going to do? Oh, my God, he's going to snatch us. You're going to scream and get hysterical? Oh, get in the car. And that's it. They out here by themselves. Yeah, you out here by yourself. Oh my. Shakira says she just read a story about a girl said she went into a gender neutral bathroom. Two guys walked in and one whipped out his meat and started peeing without a care, and the other stood outside to wait for her. But that's what happens though. You know what I'm saying? That's what I mean. At the end of the day, that stuff comes from because there's no female protection, and you think a lot of dudes feel like I'm not going to risk my life for this disrespectful, ungrateful woman. She just snatched. That's how a lot of dudes feel. I ain't saying it's right, but I'm just saying that's how a lot of dudes feel. You know what I'm saying? You can't walk around and say I don't need a man and I'm independent, this, that, and the third, and then expect niggas to take bullets for you. Because they're not. They're going to be like, well, shoot, ho, you independent, fight him off. That's how niggas feel. You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying it's right, I'm just telling you. That's how dudes feel. You ain't gonna feel sorry for your man. You see a nigga beating up on bullshit. You feel sorry for him. Only time dudes feel sorry for anybody getting snatched is young girls. They feel like most of the time these young girls either done ran away from home. A lot of these hoes be out here tricking. Ain't nobody snatched them. You know what I'm talking about? They out here selling booty. A lot of these stuff you see be human trafficking, this, that, and the third. That junk be prostitutes, crackhead prostitutes at that. I definitely seen my homeboy got hit with a human trafficking charge. They were number crackheads. Trafficking no humans. These crackheads who tricking. You know what I'm talking about? For real though, you have to look at how these people play with that word because they're trying to elicit an emotional reaction out of you by throwing human trafficking. Me personally, I don't think it's that many people getting snatched as opposed to 20, 30 years ago. Difference is everybody has a phone and a platform to post things all the time. So therefore, it makes you feel like it's happening more often. Nigga, they were snatching children in the 80s all the time. You know what they used to do? Put them on a milk carton. Nigga, ain't nobody seeing that milk carton. A nigga in Wisconsin ain't seeing a milk carton of a nigga missing in Florida. You know what I'm saying? They didn't have that type of stuff like you have now. You know what I'm saying? You can get on Facebook and see 45 different stories of somebody getting snatched. Well, so them same 45 people got snatched in 1985. Them same 45 people got snatched in 1992. You know what I'm saying? That's the only difference, and that's a fear thing to have you in a frenzy. You know what I'm saying? I think increase the drugs. That too. The same amount of drugs back then like you did now. Niggas drugs they got out. I mean, shoot. The drug game was worse in the 80s and 90s too. Way worse. Way worse. When crack came, but there is nowhere near the amount of murders that are occurring now like it did in the late 80s or early 90s. You know what I'm saying? Like in New York City, they averaged a good 3,000 plus murders every year. You know what I'm saying? Even here in the late 80s, early 90s, it was about the level like you see now, just a tad bit higher. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't none no different. Like, bro, I used to walk to school by myself every day, and most of my peers, nobody ever got snatched. You know what I'm saying? But they were snatching people. Matter of fact, remember the dude that America's Most Wanted? His son got snatched. That was in the 80s. Because they been snatching children. These white folks been snatching children, sacrificing them and molesting them. It ain't nothing new. Only difference now is, you know, they snatch some. Oh yeah, a lot of them be on dope. You know what I'm saying? Then you done got me right. You like, I want to go home. And then you like, oh, you been saying that last week? Yeah, you ain't going home. Yeah, you finna sell this butt. Yeah. You finna sell this butt. Roll 3. Yeah, that's what my cousin just said. There was a ring of Uber drivers snatching people. Like you say, it's not new. They just doing it different. Yeah. It's just doing it. But like I say, it's mainly because you had to. If something happens now, you can pick up your phone and post it, and then guess what happens? Somebody shares it, another person shares it, and now people all across the country. It's no different than ain't no more black people getting shot by the police than it was 20, 30 years ago. It's just people post about it more. You have more access to the information because everybody has a smartphone. So that means every idiot with a half a brain has a platform to run his mouth. The same way because of YouTube and the internet and the phone, you got any and everybody who want to preach the word. You give individuals an opportunity to open their mouth, they ain't gonna turn it down. And seriously though, you know what I'm saying? But then also too, what they don't take into account is especially like small children, they age. If they come up missing, 9 times out of 10, that's a relative. You know what I'm saying? And they won't mention that. 9 times out of 10, that's a relative. There's plenty of cases where you see a little child come up missing, and the other parent took the child because they were mad at the parent. They were having a custody battle, and it was my turn to have the child for visitation. They never brought the child back. And the news don't put that out there. You know what I'm saying? You always have to be careful with these people because they like to fear monger. Fear is a very strong emotion to use because you can easily manipulate people with it. Just period. If you're an emotional person, you can easily be manipulated because all the person has to do is take that emotion and use it against you. Nevertheless, John chapter 4, verse 20. Our fathers worship in this mountain, and you say that in Jerusalem is the place where men ought to worship. Yahushua said unto her, woman, believe me, the hour come when you shall neither in this mountain nor yet at Jerusalem worship Abba. You worship you know not what. We know what we worship, for salvation is of the Yahudim. So notice he's saying in that mountain or at that house. Yahuwah never needed or required you to come worship at a house. But the hour coming now is when the true worshippers shall worship Abba in Ruach and in truth, for Abba seeks such to worship him. Elohim is a Ruach, and they that worship him must worship him in Ruach and in truth. Remember, that goes back to the first half of that verse, that righteousness exalts a nation. But sin is a reproach to any people. Sin is a shame to any people, not just Israel. It's a shame to all people. Let's go back to the book of Revelation, chapter 18. Yeah, but shoot. I honestly believe that though, man. If you wanna cut down on women getting snatched, shoot. Don't be outside after dark without no man. Don't be outside after dark late. You know what I'm saying? And that's going to cut that down. Good. Who gonna snatch a man? Dude. They dudes get come up missing, but a woman's an easier target because she's weaker. No, ain't too many times no grown man come up. I did read a story about a dude talking. I did not know that there were rolling 20 bloods in Jacksonville, Florida. Did not know that. Say they definitely took cuz out to the woods and plugged him. And say they caught these dudes because they was at the landing talking about a murder. You nigga got to be the dumbest niggas in the world to be in a public place talking about a murder. It do, but at the same token that if you under surveillance and you being watched, it's really that easy. Because it's a lot of dudes who've been jammed up because they were reckless with their words because they were being watched. If they were literally watching them and following them around, oh yeah, that's definitely probably. There's plenty of dudes been caught just like that. Yeah, so it's somebody either told or they were just stupid, sitting out there talking. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, boy, I took him out there in the woods. Boy, I got that nigga. Pop, pop, pop. They like, look at this dumb nigga. That's how John Gotti got. Walking around, that's why you used to see the mob there walking public, cover their mouth, this, that, and the third. Because the people were following them. Trying to, and have boom mics everywhere, trying to catch their conversations. I like to say, I just didn't know that that subset was in this city. That was wild to me. Said they had to kill him because he said he was an OG, but he wasn't an OG. And he liked to get drunk and snort cocaine. And hit little girls. That's what he should have been shot for. You little pedophile bastard, too. But yeah, that's how a lot of dudes too on that tip too, especially young girls, probably between the age of about 13 and 17, want to be with a grown man. He's selling them a dream. They run off with him. You think he been snatched whole time? She was being grown. Now she in a hotel room in another state getting ramshacked. She want to come back home. She don't realize that's why you stay your black behind home. You know what I'm talking about? That's why if you got a daddy, you ought to listen to your daddy. You run away from home, you get everything you deserve. You think you're grown, you get everything you deserve. You stay your black behind home. Because this world out here, these streets out here, they'll eat you alive. They'll eat you alive. See, that's the thing, especially with young girls. Young boys too, but they go about it a little different. Young girls don't think that what out here in these streets, it ain't gonna happen to them. I remember girls I knew used to strip. We were still in high school. They thought it was a game. Hoes on cocaine. Start smoking crack, because that world will eat you alive. We already know the streets eat you alive, and jits think it's a game and run out there. But it's different with women, because it be your vagina they after. And you thinking, he loves me. He done had you sleep with 6 of his friends, but he love you. Next thing you know, you on all type of drugs. You know what I'm talking about? Your titties done shriveled up like razors. Y'all here looking bad. Well, them drugs mess you up. You don't sleep right, you don't drink right, you don't eat right. Jump mess you up now. Mess you up now. Main thing is, man, I'm be honest with you too, man. Especially y'all that got daughters. The main thing of father's protection is the most important thing. If she see you treat her right and treat her mama right, then guess what she gonna do? She ain't gonna rebel and stay. She gonna stay her black behind home. My daddy take care of me. He love me. She ain't going nowhere. But these streets gonna eat her alive. Yeah. Yeah, you run out there. I told you what Fantasia daddy told her. Stop dressing like a hoe. You get raped, don't come crying to me. She dressed like a hoe. She got raped, and he kept his word. He said, what you telling me for? Going over there with that. Hey. She seen her daddy was right. She seen her daddy was right. Revelation 18:1. It sounds harsh, but in reality, though, like the average person would feel like if even though you told your daughter that and she got raped, you come back, oh baby, it's okay. He felt like, nah, I told you. Going over there with that. You know what I'm saying? Because I remember when that came out, they were like, that ain't right. Daddy said what he said. And what he said came to pass. Now you want him to feel sorry for you. And he don't. But a woman like, what does it matter how I dress? It don't matter. You know what I'm talking about? But one thing I do know, that if you dress like a lady, you don't get male attention like you think you do, unless that nigga is just a literal perverted creep. That's a real live rapist. Because if you keep yourself covered up and modest like you're supposed to, niggas treat you different than a woman who worry about being cute. You worry about being cute and keeping up with styles and looking like this here, well, just be ready to be disrespected. You know what I'm saying? Just be ready to be disrespected. You like your clothes 2 sizes too small? You want to show your little vaginal wounds and all this out there? Just be ready to be disrespected. You know what I'm saying? I'm serious though. Just be ready to be disrespected. You want to come out with your shoulders out and your back out? You know what I'm saying? Be ready to be disrespected. Your vaginal wounds, your vaginal canal, your birth canal. Truth be told, a woman's vagina ain't nothing but an open wound. You know what I'm saying? Your vaginal cavity, your labia. You want to show them all that? Oh, you got it? You go? Okay. No, seriously though. Because like I said, right, because men just intrinsically treat women who cover themselves with respect and cover themselves up differently. Nobody even got to take them like, that's a lady. You don't do all that. You know what I'm saying? But look at that hole right there. Nigga open the door for you and all. Nigga let the door slam right in the whole face. You know what I'm talking about? They know I ain't lying. And she dressed like, I ain't holding the door open for that hoe. She probably gonna look at me. I don't want to talk to you. Oh, I was just holding the door. Hold on. Wow. Slam it right in her face. Now you open it. You know what I'm saying? Lady walk past, by all means, have a good day, man. They won't even look at her nothing. They keep going. That's a lady of respect. I don't want to fool with that lady. I know I ain't about nothing. You know what I'm saying? They gotta worry about it. He already know he ain't about nothing. He already know he ain't about nothing. So he already said that's a lady of respect. I ain't gonna fool with her. She got standards and whatnot. She ain't got daddy issues. I can't hit that. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no nipples out. She ain't poking nothing out. I'm telling you, that don't mean something. Walk around here like this here, trying to got your move son outfit on. That nigga gonna try to move something too. You can tell him I got a husband. Oh, shoot, I got a penis. What that mean to me? I'm telling you. I'm gonna tell you, men move different. You know what I'm saying? The woman don't sit back and look at, that's a modest man. They like this here. What can I get out of this nigga? Whether he got on construction boots, a 3-piece suit, a tent, they don't care nothing. That nigga got some money. I'm gonna go talk to him. He got a husband. Oh, he got a wife too? He take care of her? Oh, I got to get me a piece of that. I've been told you that. Don't no woman want no married man because he married. They be like, shoot, if he taking care of this hoe, he'll take care of me. That's how she thinking. I'm just being honest with you. But niggas have to school you to that. You know, a lot of dudes ain't schooled to that. They don't know that. You know what I'm saying? My dudes don't know that. She don't like you for you. It's only a handful of, I've been told you that's only a handful of women on this earth like a man for him. They like, what that nigga do for me? She'll pick the nigga she don't like who'll do for her and then have sex with the nigga she attracted to. Come home every night, cook that nigga dinner and kiss him on the face. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm saying? Like this here, just suck that man off, kiss him right on the mouth. Hey baby, how was your day? You know what I'm talking about? They brush their teeth or nothing. He just gonna swallow his man babies. He like to say, I got me a good woman. Well, but that's how these women be out here and had a nerve to talk about what men do. Let's just be honest. A lot of women 3 times the hoe. You know what I'm talking about? Than a man is. Because that's the narrative. Because that's what I tell you. That's that liberal stuff. The man cheat. The man do that. Whole time, your wife been sucking off 4 or 5 niggas for the last 5 years. You ain't never heard a nigga pawn off a child that wasn't his wife on the hurt. Women sit there, know that ain't his baby. Had this nigga take care of his baby for 10 years. Well, what does it make difference make? He's still yours. Oh, use a hoe. You knew the whole time this wasn't his baby. And then try to blame him because he mad. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. But women had a nerve to talk about what men do. I've been told you that. Women the biggest lies on the face of the earth. Your titties ain't that big. You ain't that tall. That ain't your skin. Them ain't your eyes. That ain't even your hair. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. Revelation 18:1. You bought that butt. That's not your body. That ain't even you. Who's the real you? Just like that nigga, I'm gonna get you something. Popping off all them body parts. I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna leave that alone. But see, that's what the word to do. Word to clean all that up, but they don't want no word. Word clean all that up. Make a new person, but she don't want to be a new. She can't make a new coochie because that's the coochie you. But she could be a new person. Well, you can't roll that odometer back. That freshness seal been broken. That's spilled milk. I only say that because according to the text, you know what I'm talking about? She wasn't worth nothing anyway. You know what I'm saying? That's the part that a lot of women don't look at. Your vagina used up. Nobody in ancient times would want you. Want you for what? You know what I'm talking about? All the niggas been around here beatboxing in your coochie. Nobody want that. You know what I'm talking about? You ain't worth nothing. The thing is that's not taught to no woman, so they feel like it's my body. I can do what I want to with it. Then get 35 years old. No one will marry me because you're a whore. All his friends know you. His friends know you. I told you I went to school with a chick. Niggas in the jailhouse say everybody in the city know this hoe. Every side of town. That don't get shameful. That nigga say everybody know her. I said that's sad. I've known you since we were 10. And you talking about do you love somebody? Shoot, surely not you. How could I? How could anyone? You walk around the city on a date, niggas snickering at you. 15 niggas done had your wife at the same time. You talking about you love her. Don't be simping out here. Have some respect for yourself. You know what I'm talking about? Tell that hoe go head on. Now I ain't saying you should do you rather beat your meat than marry a woman been down no road like that. Stay alone, son. Ain't worth it. 18-1. After these things, I saw another Malachim come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his esteem. He cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen, and has become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul ruach, and the cage of every unclean A hateful bird. Now, this is not Babylon per se, but that's going on. I did all that because I knew that was going to come up in this verse. But you got every foul spirit. So when you look at foul spirit, you're looking at a foul breath or foul action. You know what I'm saying? When you think about all the things that go on throughout the whole earth. Now, we just use one snapshot with lascivious activity. You know what I'm talking about? But when you look at the spitefulness and the idolatry and the murders and the anger and all of these things, and then you wonder what if you cut on a television or you cut on a movie that they're using all of those emotions against you because you're privy to it. It's like this here, right? If you're an angry man, then guess what a person who knows you're an angry man has to do? Push your buttons to use your anger against you to get you to do what it is that they want you to do. If you're someone who's prone to sadness, then they'll use that against you. If you're someone who's prone to desires, whatever that desire is, they'll use that against you because they know that you're emotional in that regard and you can be easily manipulated. See, someone who's not emotional, they use reason and logic. Therefore, you can't use anything against them to manipulate them. You know what I'm saying? And that's what America, for specifically, is prone to do. That's why I mentioned that the stuff with the people being missing. They know that that's going to cause an emotional reaction. You know what I'm saying? So I can put these stories out here and use that against you, at least for black folks. To flip it for white folks, it'd be the school shootings. The kids getting shot. And they'll put up these images and do these things. This is to get an emotional reaction out of you. The first thing that you're supposed to think is, why do I think that this is a problem? Do I know this is a problem from firsthand knowledge, or do I believe it's a problem because I consumed that through media? That Facebook told me it was a problem. Instagram told me it was a problem. The news or radio told me it's a problem. Because it's a lot of people, like they say a whole bunch of people getting snatched, but how many people have you ever met who actually know someone who's been kidnapped? If all these people are being kidnapped like they talking about, do we think some of them school shootings happen? Yeah, absolutely. But why don't nobody actually know these people who've been shot in these schools? You know what I'm saying? You say 9/11 happened, all these people passed. Why people don't know too many people directly that know somebody who died in it? You would think somebody say, I worked with somebody who died in that. You know what I'm saying? And that's not saying that these things didn't happen, but it's just the fact of, do you believe this because you've been fed that? Or do you have firsthand knowledge that this occurred? Again, that's not to say that these things have not happened. You know what I'm saying? Because I can't say that, and I don't disagree that some of that stuff was fake, but I can't say it is or it wasn't because I wasn't there. Like, I can remember looking at Sandy Hook and seeing that white dude laughing and giggling, and then when they told him the camera was on, he changed his facial expression and went to crying. You know what I'm saying? Could have that been fake? Very well so, but I don't know. I don't have the ability to say that didn't happen. That situation in Vegas, that didn't look like that happened. Just looking at what was described. Nigga, this goes against all common sense. So when I look at a media that in a country that I've known has a propensity to lie and change facts, then just because you put something out there does not mean that this is really happening. You know what I'm saying? If they say it's 75,000 people missing, it's probably 25. You know what I'm saying? Or it could be 75. I don't know. Nevertheless, verse 3. He say, for the nations have drunk the wine, the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed through, which through the abundance of her delicacies. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that you be not partakers of a sin, and that you receive not of a plague. Because if that means Babylon's committing sin, that means there's a shame. And what is he telling his people to do? Separate yourself from the shame. Let me go back and look at that word for reproach again, because I forgot what character it is. Who that is? Mordecai back there with that? Oh, he must be hungry. You can come back to what do you call it? Chronicles, yeah. So you got the Kot, Samach, and Dalet. So you see how that thorn, or you can say of the door, or Yahushua's thorn is going to separate. So before we do that, come over here to Hebrews chapter 6. Or Yahusha is the thorn that's going to separate. Because what does the book say happens with briars and thorns? Who knows what it said the book say going to happen with briars and thorns? They get burned. They reject it. They get burned. That's what happens when you bring a reproach and a shame. You get rejected and you burn. See, we so stuck on we the people, this, that, and the third. It don't matter if you're an Israelite. It don't matter if you the seed of Ham. It don't matter if you the seed of Japhet. If you commit sin, that's a shame to any people. That's what our people don't realize. Sin is a shame and a disgrace to anyone. This is why Joseph's name is Elohim has taken away he's taken away your shame. Because Paul, what happened with in the law in Genesis? When they disobeyed what it said, they had to cover up their shame. They were naked. They had to cover their shame. They had to get a covering. That's what our people don't realize. That's why I don't like the fact when dudes be talking about I'm a woman's cover. You ain't no woman's cover because you can't cover her shame. You can't cover her sin. Ain't a man on this earth right now breathing can cover anybody's sin. That's why I always be tripping on that verse in Isaiah 4:1. They talking about that's against it. But he said to take away our reproach. You niggas can't take away no sin, nigga. Nigga, you ain't even got your sins taken away. But you gonna take away this woman's sin because you her husband. And you think that I'm stupid enough to believe that. I guess we'll read that verse in a moment. Hebrews chapter 6. 6 and 6. If they shall fall away, to renew them again to repentance, seeing they crucify to themselves the son of Elohim afresh, and put him to an open shame. For the earth was drinking the rain that come off upon it, bring forth herbs meet for them by whom it is dressed, receive blessing for Elohim. But that which bear thorns and briars is rejected, and is nigh under cursing, whose end is to be burned. Psalms 21 and then Isaiah chapter 4. And we have to look at this here part because he says sin is a shame to any people. So when you commit sin, Yahuwah has to shame you for it. Because what did it say that ended up Yahusha? He said he ended up bearing our shame. He was shamed for our sakes. He said that the reproaches of them that reproach you fell on me. That shame came on him. The same way that Rebekah told Jacob, let that shame be on me. See, they don't want to talk about that though. Because at the end of the day, all this stuff these brews be talking about, the problem is sin. That's the problem. You know what I'm saying? The problem ain't that we ain't got no schools. The problem ain't that we ain't got no hospitals. The problem ain't that we ain't got no infrastructure. The problem is sin. That's the problem. You know what I'm talking about? You eliminate that problem, everything else will flow smoothly. He could give you a hospital. He could give you school. He could give you all that. He don't give you nothing, you wicked. Give it to you for what? So you can lie on him and say he blessed you with it? No. There's too many brews out here talking about this man blessing them. Why he blessed you for what? What did you do? I did the work, I did the work. What work you did? You sinned last week? Yeah, I sinned. You know, we all fall short. You lying bastard. Get out of my face. You're lying on Yahuwah. You know, these boys don't mind lying on Yahuwah. They don't mind. Psalms 21 and 3. Or 21 and 1. It's okay. Psalm 21 and 1. The king shall joy in your strength, O Yahuwah, in your salvation, how greatly shall he rejoice. You have given him his heart's desire, and have not withholden the request of his lips. For you prevent him with the blessings of goodness. You set a crown of pure gold on his head. He asked life of you, and you gave it to him, even the length of days forever and ever. Look at what he said, right? He asked what of you? What I told you, like, and you should look at that all the way around the board. And Luke 11, what did Yahushua say? He said, if you being evil, give your children good gifts, how much for your Father in heaven to give you the Ruach HaKadosh if you ask him for it? You know what I'm saying? Now ask yourself this here. If you asking him for that, why would you ask him for that? You will only ask him for that because you believe the word that you heard. See, you know, some people be like, yeah, give me the Ruach. See, that's a nigga who just cat. You would ask that with understanding because you would know what you would be asking for. You know what I'm saying? You would be asking for him to dwell with you. So if you know that, that means that if he remember he say his heart's desire. So if you're asking for the Ruach, that means your heart's desire is to please Yahuwah. If your heart's desire, and that's how righteousness exalts a nation, but we'll get to that on the back end. But the sin that is and of course, that the king's favor is to a wise servant. See, the favor of Yahuwah is only going to be to those who move skillfully. You know what I'm saying? How do you move skillfully? You can't move with wisdom without having knowledge. Then from that knowledge, then you get the wisdom, and from that wisdom, you get the insight or the understanding. Anytime somebody told you something on what to do, and then once you applied it in that situation, did you not gain insight from the situation when you move wisely or move unwisely? That's how understanding is brought forth. That's why he say you can't get discernment to know good and evil unless you actually do it. If you don't actually do it, then you'll never gain understanding. You know what I'm saying? You'll stay in the same spot, spinning your wheels. You know what I'm talking about? You actually have to do it. Then when you actually do it, you see what, you know what? Now I see why my father told me this right here. And everybody in this room probably had somebody in their lifetime who told you something before it occurred to you. You did it or you didn't do it. And you say, now I know why grandma told me that. Now I know why my daddy told me that. Now I know why my mama told me that. Now I know why my big brother told me that. That's understanding. Why can we say that as far as the script is concerned? Because Yahushua told his apostles, this would happen to me, that would happen to me. They watched him do it. And when he died and rose from the dead and he explained it to them, that's when they got understanding. Now I see why you told me this. Now I see why you told me that. I understand now. That's why I say get wisdom, get the skill, but in all you're getting, get the insight. Because if you don't get the insight into why you're doing what you're doing, then the knowledge and the wisdom is for nothing. And this is why he says, if you lack understanding, you're worthy of death. Nevertheless. Verse 5, his esteem is great in your salvation. Honor and majesty have you laid upon him. You have made him most blessed forever. You have made him exceedingly glad with your countenance. For the king trusts in Yahuwah, and through the mercy of the Most High, he shall not be moved. Now I want you to sit back and look at that, right? Through the what? The mercy of the Most High, you will not be moved. And that goes back to what we read in Hebrews 12. See, if you understand that the mercy of Yahuwah is really the most important thing out of everything, how could you be moved? What did Yahushua say he likened to a man who hears words to what? Man who built his house on a rock. And he say when the wind comes and the rains beat on that house, it don't fall. Well, that's the same thing. The mercy of the Most High don't cause that house to be moved. Why would you know that? Because he said, I won't suffer my Kadash one to see corrupt. You know that he will show mercy on you. What righteous man has Yahuwah ever forsaken? And that's what David said. I ain't never seen the righteous forsaken, begging for bread. He ain't seen it. You know what I'm saying? So that mercy always going to be there. If that mercy wasn't there, he would have left Yahushua in the grave. If that mercy wasn't there, he would have let the people do whatever they wanted to do with Jeremiah. If that mercy wasn't there, he wouldn't have let Samson get revenge on his enemies for his eyes. The mercy was always there, every single solitary time. Even when we were talking about with the churn, the mercy with Noah was there and his sons. Guess what? Him and Ham and Japhet only got spared because Noah was their daddy. Y'all already knew Shem was of that bloodline. I already know he's solid. I really only want two. You know what I'm saying? But I got to repopulate the earth. I don't even fool with you other two niggas. I fool with your dad. You know what I'm saying? And I got to repopulate the earth. So y'all his sons, I'm going to spare you too. Every single time. What righteous man you seen in this book he ain't show no mercy on when they was in an ugly situation? In all, because he already said that. He showed mercy to the just and the unjust. But Hebrews don't understand that. That's why they ain't got no ruah. You're lying bastard, you're evil. You're your daddy the devil. You don't understand Yahuwah. Everyone, without fail, no hesitation. You know what he's saving them up? Because the iniquities of the Amorite ain't full. I want you to go ahead and load it up. Because when you load it up, I'm going to knock it down. But you notice the part of, I read the Revelation 18 because I first, we got to leave America. We got to come out about all this stupid nigga. You's an idiot. He's telling you step away from the shame. Because if you don't step away from the shame, I'm definitely standing up for my name and I'm cutting heads. Okay, because most dudes don't realize that. What does the book say the beast is going to have rule over? The whole earth. Every kindred, every tongue, every nation. Nobody is escaping that. See, dudes want to escape it. Well, you can't escape it. Let me take that back. Because he said those who are faithful and hold his word to the end, he said he'll keep you from the hour of temptation. That's what he said. But a lot of people don't want to go through that hour of temptation because they know they're going to fall. They know they're going to worship the beast and bow down and kiss the ring and say who is like unto the beast, who can make war with him. Because niggas scared. Oh, let's keep rolling up. Look at verse 8. It says, your right hand shall find out all your enemies. Your right hand shall find out those that hate you. So that's Yahushua. Well, pause. Let's see how he'll find out his right hand and all those that hate him. Revelation chapter 22, I believe. No, 21. 21. No, it was 22. Excuse me. It was 22. 22 and 11. Stuff be hard, but it is what it is, man. And we ain't got time. We could go through because I could grab Babylon. We could grab Nineveh. You know what I'm talking about? We could spend, weeks on weeks on weeks on weeks dealing with Yasharal, how that sin was a reproach to any nation. It's a reproach. It's a shame. It's a disgrace. Ain't nothing cool about sin, man. That junk dishonor you. What did Yahushua say in the 14th chapter of John? Whosoever honor my Father or honor me, my Father will honor. Well, you can't honor you who will commit sin. Because that's a dishonor. And then he gonna own fool with you. This is why Yahushua took on your reproaches, because he allowed himself to be dishonored. He didn't do it for himself. That's why I be tripping on how people be moving, man. Junk just don't make sense. He that is unjust, let him be unjust still. He which is filthy, let him be filthy still. He that is righteous, let him be righteous still. And he that is Kadash, let him be Kadash still. And behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me to give to every man according as his work shall be. He said he gonna find it out. Let's look at the word for find out in there. He said he'll find it out. Don't worry. People act like Yahuwah don't know what's going on, but he know. The word is matzah, and it's to find, to attain, or also to learn, or to meet, or to encounter, or to light upon. So he gonna shine a light on your words. Ain't that what he said in John chapter 3? He said, the evil don't come to the light, lest their deeds should be exposed and they should be reproved. Nevertheless. Oh yeah, back to Psalm 21. I want you to look at what it say, right? Verse 9, he said, you shall make them as a fiery oven in the time of your anger. Yahuwah shall swallow them up in his wrath, and fire shall devour them. What did Peter say that he was going to come with? Fire. Now, I didn't get a chance. I forgot to ask the children that. About a rainbow. Y'all willing, I'll explain it to them next time. About a rainbow and what that means. Y'all know what the rainbow means, right? I know it's a very asinine question. But y'all know what the rainbow stands for. What the rainbow stand for? Not to destroy the earth. So remember, when you see the rainbow, what you really seeing? Indeed, because that means he high. That means he high. You know what I'm saying? In reality, when you strip away everything to it, when you see that rainbow, Yahuwah is displeased. And though he don't need a reminder, that's really a reminder for man that y'all provoking me to wrath. Y'all know that, right? I ought to flood y'all, but I said I ain't gonna do it. But then I'm merciful. I'm giving you a space to repent. That's what I say. You should look at it as that's mercy, because Yahuwah is being provoked to wrath again. Y'all trying him again. Seems like you see a lot of rainbows these days. Don't even rain half good. Like this here. Pumps everywhere. He's sitting there look at these niggas here. That's so funny. Because they mocking. Oh, we got a verse coming right behind that. They mocking. See, let's look at it. Look at what he said in verse 10. Indeed, trying to flip it. He said, their fruit shall you destroy from the earth. So guess what? They fruit or their doings. You don't get your doings out of the earth. Look what he said. And their seed from among the sons of men. I'm killing all your children. See, people don't. I seen a meme the other day, nigga talking about niggas worrying about the devil. They were like, it's God killing everybody in the Bible. Ain't lied. I don't know what you worry about the devil for. Devil ain't killed nobody. You ain't worried about, you ain't read nowhere where Satan killed anybody. Yahuwah done killed plenty, got plenty bodies. You know what I'm talking about? And ain't damn one of them without cause. Yahuwah ain't never moved on nobody without cause. Only man he ever moved on without cause was his son, and he still had cause for that. That cause was to redeem his creation. He ain't never moved on. What man you who ever killed without cause? So I know some people talking about, what about the little children with the bear? What about your mammy? Yeah, they came in correct, running their mouth. But them kids, they dead now. Their parents ought to taught them right. They wouldn't be down here the bear wouldn't be using a toothpick to get their flesh out of his teeth. You know what I'm talking about? Should have taught your children right. Taught your children how to respect a man, much less a man of God. Go up, bald head. Go up, bald. He said, don't worry about it. I'm going to go up all right. I got your bald head because you finna be bald bone. That nigga finna eat you alive. And shoot, he ain't even had nothing to do with Abel. I'm talking about somebody Yahuwah took out. You know what I'm saying? Yahuwah ain't taking the people out in Ezekiel 8 without cause. Y'all in here worshiping idols in my house. But he said to kill the babies and all. Talk to their parents. They knew what they signed up for. That ain't got nothing to do with Yahuwah. Talk to your pappy. Your pappy in the back sucking penis, he got you killed. You know what I'm saying? For real though. You want to be mad at Yahuwah because your dad in the back of pump. Because your mama a hoe. You know what I'm saying? Because your auntie's idolaters. It's Yahuwah's fault. Well, he had already told you from the jump street, I'm going to kill everybody. You try me. Did he not say that the punishment fall on your children's children? Were they not aware of that when they made that agreement? Okay, take it up with your forefathers then. Don't you know the book say that the children of the wicked made for the sword? You wonder why a lot of these niggas out here getting killed? Because their parents wicked. That's what he was made for. He was birthed for that. Said, cause that just don't sound right. Well, you don't know the word, nigga. I say let him ride. If your mammy and your daddy wicked, and that's what y'all made you for your sons to get murdered, well then let you ride. Because his will was fulfilled. Who am I to speak against it? Because that sin is a shame. Because you got to understand something. If you die in your sin, you died in shame. Period, point blank at the end of the day. Y'all could have came through and killed Adam and Eve in their shame. Of course, we already know that he was showing mercy for the further on down the line by saying, I will make a coat of skins for you. Because they could have died in their shame. Because he said, who told you was naked? Who told you was a reproach? Who told you that? Because guess what? When you ain't got no sin, and of course that you're supposed to understand, I mean, when he looked on them, he didn't see no shame because there was no sin. So when you put on the Ruach and he look at you, guess what? He don't see no shame because he don't see no sin. And how do you get your sin removed? By faith in Yahusha. That's the righteousness that lifts up that nation. This is why Peter said, humble yourself under the right hand of Elohim, and he will exalt you in due time. This is why Yahusha tell you to take up your stake and follow him. Because when you do that, you're humbling yourself, and therefore Yahuwah can lift you up. Nevertheless, listen what it said in verse 11. He said, for they intended evil against you. They imagined a mischievous device which they were not able to perform. Therefore you shall make them turn their back, and when you shall make ready your arrows upon your strings against the face of them. Let's look at mischievous, because y'all should know what device is. We done dealt with that one. Oh, never, it don't matter. It's the same word. For which they were not able, which is your call. Your call for not able is to overcome or to prevail. So when he said that, they were not able, their plans, their plot, and their devices was not able to overcome. Because what did we just talk about last night? What did Yahusha say? Oh, be of good cheer. I've overcome the world. This is why John say, greater is he that is in you than he that is in the world, because you've overcome them. So any device, pause. Isaiah 54 and 17, one of the most grossly misinterpreted verses in the book. And I still got to get Isaiah for him. How many of y'all in your lifetime to look somebody in the face and said this to them? Any of y'all ever said Isaiah 54 and 17? I bet some of you women have. You probably told a nigga that one day, didn't you, Cat? Well, you got it in front of your face, don't you? I'm appalled. In 17, I am appalled. No weapon that is formed against you shall prosper. Oh, you done said it. Oh, she done said it. No weapon formed against me, girl. I don't care what they say. It's not going to prosper. I seen somebody talking about, he didn't say that the weapons wasn't going to be made. He said it wasn't going to prosper. Look at the second half of the verse, though. You don't say that part? Contrary behind. Listen what he said. Every tongue that rise against you in judgment, you shall condemn. This is the heritage of the servants of Yahuwah, and the righteousness is of me, saith Yahuwah. So look at the part they conveniently leave out. He said, every tongue that rises against you in judgment, you'll condemn it. Then he said, heritage, meaning this is the inheritance of the servants of Yahuwah, and that righteousness is of Yahuwah. So we've already went through this in the past. Number one, every time they came at Yahushua on some judgment, what he did? Crashed. You know what I'm saying? And the righteousness, meaning that righteousness comes from Yahuwah, it don't come from the law. That's why he say you can't be justified by the works of the law. Galatians chapter 2. Now let me ask y'all a question. When the book say works, what are some of the works? What are some of the works of Yahuwah, Monte? Just give me one. Huh? Be not evil. Works. You know how people be like this? You got to do the works. You got to do the works. Or faith without works is dead. What's the work of Yahuwah? I need to see if y'all know what some of the works of Yahuwah is. Your labor, your service, by definition. What about you, Nisha? Merciful. I will allow it. I'm just messing with that's the correct answer. What you got for me? Feed the poor. Correct answer. What about you, Callie? That's broad. We'll come back to you. Come on, Stanley. Y'all can answer that question on here too. Huh? No, what are the works of Yahuwah? The works that we supposed to do. Matter of fact, I'm gonna read. Hold on, let me read this to you. Maybe this will help y'all out a little bit. 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 16. All scripture is given. Well, I read verse 14. But continuing the things which you have learned and been assured of, knowing of whom you have from a child, you have known the Kadash scriptures, which are able to make you wise unto salvation through faith in Yahushua HaMashiach. All scripture is given by inspiration of Elohim. Is profitable for doctrine, for reproof, for correction, for instruction in righteousness, that the man of Elohim may be perfect, thoroughly furnished unto good works. Correct. Judgment is a work of Yahuwah. Come on, DJ. I will also read verse 8 in Titus chapter 3. Well, verse 7, that being justified by his grace, we should be made heirs to the hope of eternal life. This is a faithful saying. These things I will that you affirm constantly, that they which have believed in Elohim might be careful to maintain good works. These things are good and profitable unto men. Love is a work of Elohim. Would you like to try, Diamond? Why you look at me like that? You look like you don't want to be here. You tired? You ain't tired. You ain't went nowhere. You ain't got no job. Where you work at? I'm just messing with you. Yes, that's been used. You have to try another. That is a work of Elohim. Long suffering. Those are two different things. It wasn't your turn. Clearly. What about you, Muffin? Trina said, walking humbly. That would be Micah chapter 6 and verse 8. That is a work of Elohim. A good work, a work that he will accept. The Greek word for work here is act, deed, thing done. The idea of working is emphasized. The thing which one undertakes to do. Or, for layman's term, in about your father's business. But you got something for me, mother? You don't have nothing? What about you, sir? Forgiving, that is a work of Elohim. What you got for me, Lee? Say who? That is. Whether it's healing of the heart or healing of the flesh. Glover, what you got back and forth? I didn't even know you were back there till about 32 and a half minutes ago. Huh? I just seen that nigga in. I could have sworn I just seen that nigga with that. Oh, that nigga departed that quick? You say what? I am. That is a work of Elohim. What about you, Darius? Oh, I forgot. Mission. What you got? What? Rejected. Go ahead. Faith? Yeah, I let you have that one. Katrina answered twice because she said faith. It is because he said that in John 6. What are the works of Elohim? Believe on him whom he have sent. A lot of them niggas ain't work that work. They gonna work. They gonna work. Turn to the left. That is. Did somebody say that? Yeah. No, they use the equivalent. I will allow it. Somebody did say humble. Trina said humble. Yeah, Trina said humble. No, that's the difference. Because Yahuwah say he's full of kindness. Could be akin to merciful, but they're a tad bit different because he mentioned all three. I almost gave you one on the house. I had to catch myself. You got something for me? You got something for me? That nigga hit me with the white lady in my face. Yeah. It's work Elohim. That's one of the laws of Mashiach. You bear one another's burdens. That is a work of Elohim. Man, you got something for me? So who didn't go? Callie, you ain't go? Oh, you did. You did. I mean, I forget stuff. Don't catch no attitude with me. You got nothing, you know. I'm offended. Muffin, and you ain't got nothing? Huh? What are some of the works of Elohim? Nobody did. Somebody did say forgive. You got something for me? Huh? Joy? Somebody just said that. You have to choose. Sorry. You and Mom are the only ones who haven't produced an answer. I'll let you know. I mean, there's plenty of words now. Because nobody mentioned goodness. Nobody mentioned almsgiving. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, giving thanks is a work of Elohim. Nobody mentioned the sacrifices of righteousness, which is your reasonable service. Nobody mentioned laying your life down. Yeah, but see, you can make the sacrifice of righteousness and not necessarily, it's plenty of things. These are the works of Yahuwah. Loving your neighbor as yourself, the work of Yahuwah. Being truthful, just, is the work of Yahuwah. Always when you think about the work of Yahuwah, think about the things that Yahuwah does himself, that Yahushua did. Compassion, which is the same as mercy. You know what I'm saying? And those are the works. That's why he says it's profitable. There's a gain for you in doing so. Because we were reading this morning about you. How many of y'all remember Dorcas Drake? Well, I know you remember, Mom. How many of y'all went to Dorcas Drake? Y'all too young. I don't think none of y'all even know who that is. Dorcas Drake. Dorcas Drake. No, that was a lady who had a Christmas party downtown every year, gave poacher and toys. No. I mean, it was well known in the city. You could not know about it. Niggas stood out there in lines to get in the arena to get them toys. Yeah, I didn't know they still had it. Yeah, it was called the Dorcas Drake Christmas Party. Hefty white woman, ghastly looking. But the reason why I mentioned that because Dorcas is Tabitha's other name. And it said that she did many good works in the alms deeds that she did. And see, that ties into what's in Revelation 14 and 13. That the Spirit saith, what? Blessed are those who die in the Lord, for your works do follow you. So when you do good works according to the word of Yahuwah, that follows you. You don't think Yahushua works followed him to get him rose from the dead? Because this is how the king's grace is to a wise servant. Nevertheless, Muffin Boy coming through the door, cheese. Where was that? Second Chronicles chapter 7. Let me finish that out. Because I don't spend a lot of time in regards to establishing that sin is a disgrace. This is why the books say that the name of Yahuwah is blasphemed by the Gentiles through you, because your sin is causing his name to be disgraced. Then we looked at the word with byword, and of course, you know, when Yahushua was on the stage, if you be the son of Elohim, come down. If you be the son of Elohim, save yourself. You saved others. You know, the mocking. Because he became that byword in proverb and took on. Remember what? Oh, I didn't read the verse. But in Hebrews chapter 6, what does it say? If you have to get baptized again, what have you done? What'd you say? You put Yahushua to an open shame. He's already been put to an open shame when he got put on the stake. Everybody's seen it. So that's how you can see how sin is a reproach to any nation or any people. Because Yahushua was that disgrace. He was that shame. See, a lot of people look like, oh, he just died for the sins of Israel. You stupid. You know what I'm saying? As if all the other people on the earth are not open to the penalties that happened to Adam. Don't the sons of Japheth die? Or they live forever? Don't the sons of Ham die? Or do they live forever? So that means everybody had to be redeemed from death. Their mind's so simple they can't think that far, but that comes from bad teaching. Because y'all remember this here? Who watered 3 flocks of sheep? Jacob did. And remember that? And I used to ask dude, well, who them 3 flocks is that he watered? Because dudes steady be talking about, oh, the Gentiles he had to go teach was the northern kingdom. Nowhere did he ever say that Judah was separate, kept the covenant, and the northern kingdom didn't. He separated all of them, you dummy. You're stupid. You don't know what you're talking about. And I have to say it like that because it's true. If you teaching that, you stupid. You know what I'm saying? I tell you to your face. I tell your daddy to his face. You're birthed an idiot. You know what I'm talking about? Or I hit him what Willie D say. Your daddy should have pulled out and your mama should have swallowed. That's what Willie D had to say. You ever heard Willie D say that? That gonna be hilarious. You don't know Willie D? That's from the Ghetto Boys. And the nations. And the nations. See, watered all of them. You know what I'm saying? And it doesn't just mention 3 flocks, just to mention that. Why? Because what does it say? Let's get Galatians 2, because I didn't even grab that. 2 and 16. But I understand why most Bruce think that, because they think that the salvation was only regulated to the covenant with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You know what I'm saying? They don't really realize that goes all the way to the beginning. Abby, you ain't nobody scared of you. Abby, ain't nobody scared of you. Abby. Galatians 2 and 16. Knowing that a man is not justified by the works of Torah, but by the faith of Yahushua HaMashiach. Even we have believed in Yahushua HaMashiach, that we might be justified by the faith of Mashiach. And not by the works of Torah, but for by the works of Torah shall no flesh be justified. But if while we seek to be justified by Hamashiach, we ourselves are found sinners, is therefore Hamashiach the servant of sin? Elohim forbid. For if I build again the things which I destroyed, I make myself a transgressor. So how are you going to sit back and see that? He already know that's a reproach. Oh, there you go. There you go. Glover, tell me what a work of Yahuwah is. Can you tell me a work of Yahuwah? Give me a work. A work that a man can work. A work of God that you can do. That you can do. I will allow it. So we got that one now. There's plenty of that. Glove say what? That's what you used to be hearing. That's what he used to be hearing them niggas in the church house doing. He like to say he playing the organ too. That's 800 right there. Hopefully he grow out of that. He said, for those through Torah I am dead to Torah that I might live under Elohim. I'm crucified with Mashiach. Nevertheless, I live, yet not I, but Mashiach in me. And the life which I live in the flesh, I live by the faith of the Son of Elohim, who loved me and gave himself for me. I do not frustrate the grace of Elohim, for if righteousness came by Torah, then Mashiach is dead in vain. You know what I'm saying? Because what did we read in Isaiah 54? It says that their righteousness is of who? Of him. So it can't come from the law and Yahuwah. It can only come from one. I want you to go to Isaiah 4:1, my last thing on reproach. Isaiah 4:1. Grandma, go sit down. Grandma, don't you ball your face up. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. I hope you know somebody peed on that floor. Now you're eating off of it. So now you have pee-pee gummies. It says, in that day 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Let us be called by your name to take away our reproach. There's a different word for reproach here. That word is kerpah. It means arresting upon condition of shame and disgrace, reproach and scorn. You have kat, you have rosh, you have pay, and you have hay. I'll give you a moment. Kat, rosh, pay, and hay. Kat, rosh, pay, and hay. Come do me a favor, son. Come put this in the trash since you want to. Come make yourself useful. Well, you come do it, Lizzie, because your brother tripped. Thank you. Kat, rosh, pay, and hay. This is the more common word used for reproach. Then that wasn't probably. Renee. Thank you. She said, I'm a servant, and I serve. What y'all got for that? Kat, rosh, pay, and hay. Now, this is a reproach. Now, they're asking for the reproach to be taken off of them. So we have to keep that in mind. Because this is another thing I be drinking a lot too right here, man. I guess we'll take a look at okay. It's being revealed. That's why I Oh yeah, I'll be grabbing these two from Publix, okay? Plant protein shake. Yeah. Speak the final command. Anybody else? Now, this same word that's used for reproach in Genesis 30 in regards to Joseph, that she conceived and bare a son and said, Elohim have taken away my reproach. Because why would Rachel say that she had been shamed and dishonored? Why would Rachel have to say that? She had not bare the seed. So in that culture, in that time, she would be seen to be a disgrace, a scorn, a mocking, if you will. So these women are asking for the disgrace and the scorn of the enemy to be taken away. Now, I would sit back and use that hey, and just put Yahushua's name there. You know what I'm saying? Versus man with raised arms. You could look at it revealed. That's cool because you could switch that with the Rosh if you wanted to. But then you can sit back and see how Yahushua is the word of the highest and it separates or it divides. So let's look at something in Matthew 10. We don't have to grab Matthew 10. You know what he said. He didn't come to bring peace, but a what? Sword. Because what was going to cause the division? It was his word. It was his word. And that word is sharper than a two-edged sword, dividing asunder to the joints and marrow. It causes a separation. So what gets the reproach removed is the faith. This is why he say that every tongue that rises against you in judgment, you will condemn it. This is the inheritance of the servant. Because remember, say the king's favor is to a what? A wise servant. Now let's take a look at something, right? When let's just sit back. We don't have to go grab the verse because it's just in one certain spot. How did it describe King David in his dealings with Saul? How did the book describe King David's doings in his dealings with Saul? What you said there, right? No, I'm talking about if anybody can recall the specific word usage that was used. It said that he dealt wisely in all his doings. And that's why the favor of Yahuwah was with David. You know what I'm saying? And not with Saul, because Saul dealt himself unwisely. Foolish, if you will. A big dummy. A nincompoop. What do you want, you big dummy? That was Saul. So when you turn around and you look at that, the king, let me get the word for favor there. So I want you to look at that. Notice that it say, called by your name. Called by your name to take away that reproach. I'm trying to think of the verse. Ain't a verse in my head. It's been a long time since I read that one. Second Timothy chapter 2. There you go. There you go. 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 18. Matter of fact, 2 Timothy chapter 2. No. We don't want all that. Verse 18. Well, I'll get 14. It don't matter. 2 Timothy 2 and 14. Of these things, put them in remembrance, charging them before the Lord, that they strive about words to no profit, but to the subverting of the hearers. That's another thing. All that arguing back and forth about people with the word, that don't profit nobody. It don't do nothing but really subvert the faith of the people listening. I'm not going to sit back and go back and forth with a nigga who don't know what he talking about with no word. And y'all done seen me do it. Y'all done seen me hang up in people's face. I walk away using it. This don't profit or benefit nobody. Now, of course, he's speaking to Timothy. Study to show yourself approved under Elohim, a workman that need not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. But shun profane and vain babblings, for they will increase unto more ungodliness. When you look at most brews, what do you see? Vain and profane babblings. And what all you see? Niggas ungodly. It ain't no profit to it. You see that with the scribes and the Pharisees, all that vain talking they had going on. There was no gain to anybody. He said, and their word will eat as doth a canker, of whom is Hymenaeus and Philetus, who concerning the truth have erred, saying that the resurrection is past already, and overthrow the faith of some. Nevertheless, listen what he said, the foundation of Elohim stands sure, having this seal, the Lord know them that are his. Remember how we were talking about that? How the demons know who belong to the Lord, so how he don't know. And he say, let everyone that name the name of Mashiach depart from iniquity. Now notice, right? It said that name the name of Mashiach. What did it say that women were asked to be doing? To be called by what? Your name. And that their reproach might be what? Removed. If you name by the name of Mashiach, then guess what's going to be removed? Iniquity. And if iniquity is removed, then the shame is removed. And if the shame is removed, then Yahuwah can accept you. Well, guess what? Job 28 and 28. And Abigail is asleep. Oh, she fine. She woke back up. I can still see you, Abington. I don't know why you're trying to fight it. Job 28 and 20. Job 28 and 19. Get up. She asked you to get up. She ain't playing with you. Huh? The topaz is Job 28, 19. The topaz of Ethiopia shall not equal it. Neither shall it be valued with pure gold. This goes back to what we were talking about last night about riches. Whence come wisdom? And where is the place of understanding? Seeing it is hid from the eyes of all living and kept close from the fowls of the air. Destruction and death say, we have heard the fame thereof with our ears. Elohim understand the way thereof, and he knows the place thereof. For he looked to the ends of the earth and see under the whole heaven, to make weight for the winds and measure the waters by measure. When he make a decree for rain and the way of lightning of the thunder, then did he see it and declare it, he prepared it, yea, and searched it out. Unto man he say, behold, the fear of Yahuwah, that is wisdom. And to depart from evil is understanding. So, again, if you're departing from evil, if you fear Yahuwah, then how would you be able to gain wisdom? You would hear the knowledge of Yahuwah. You would know what to do and what not to do. And then you would apply it. Then once you depart from evil, you would understand that you would be removing the reproach. You would be naming the name of Yahuwah. When you receive understanding, remember he said, wisdom is the principal thing. But in all that getting, get understanding. So if you get understanding, in reality, what would you be getting? You would be getting the Ruach. Because he said, if you lack understanding, you worthy of death. So if you lack, again, going back to something we mentioned before, said Yahushua open their understanding that they might understand the scriptures. When you understand Yahuwah, the book tells you in Proverbs chapter 16 and verse 6 that those that seek Yahuwah understands. It says understands all things, but in Hebrew it just says understand. So if you seek after Yahuwah, you understand. How would you not be a part of a household of a man you understand? If you understand who Yahuwah is and what he's about, then he can show favor to you. See, he can't show favor if you're not a wise servant. Because he just said in the second half of that verse, it said, he that causeth shame shall be destroyed. Come back to Proverbs 14 real quick. Now look at verse 35. He said, the king's favor is towards a wise servant, but his wrath is against him that caused shame. Now let's look at the word shame now. What y'all doing to that baby? What they doing to you, man? They ain't treating you right back there, man. Now the word for shame here is bush. to put to shame, to be ashamed, to be discerning, to act shamefully. You have Ba, U, and Shan. Proceed. Ba, U, and Shan. Proceed.
I say that the shame to the destruction of the son.
Yeah, that's all that's gonna happen. You did not only you ain't just established, you secured it.
Yes,
You secure Yahusha's consumption. You secure Yahusha's wrath. That's why. See, go back to Isaiah 4 now. See, I know how dudes is when you're carnal. You look at that 7 wives, see, polygyny, this, that, and the third. Y'all already know how I feel about that. I don't care. You know what I'm talking about? The gospel don't support it. Nigga, if you want 1,000 wives, that's your business. You know what I'm talking about? I'm not going to sit here and argue with you and waste time going through the script about how many wives a nigga can have. Nigga, have 40 if you want. But if you ain't lying with this gospel, I know what's going to happen to you. You're going to hell. Take that how you want it. You know what I'm saying? Take that how you want it. This ain't got nothing to do with, well, what about the Torah? Yeah, that sounds good. What about the Torah? Because we talking about Yahusha. What about it? Because you're going to keep all them laws. You think you keeping them, you're going to hell. And you're going to be like, I kept the commandment. No, you didn't. What you mean you ain't believe on me? Ain't that what he told them? He said, if you believe Moses, you would have believed me before he wrote of me. He said, but if you don't believe his writings, you ain't going to believe my word. You ain't going to believe none of the Lord say. You know what I'm talking about? But you got your 17 wives, nigga. All y'all can tap dance in hell. Let it be known, I ain't say you tap dancing in hell because you got 17 wives. You tap dancing in hell because you didn't believe and you lacked understanding. That's what you tap dancing for. Isaiah 4:1. And that day 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Let us be called by your name to take away our reproach. Now, before we go any further, let's go to Ephesians chapter 2, verse 9. And hold that because we're finna read Isaiah 4 and 2. Mommy. 2 and 8. Ephesians 2 and 8. Thanks. For by grace are you saved. Let's back that up to verse 7. Matter of fact, let's just make it verse 4. Matter of fact, we could just start at 1. You don't need all of it. You don't need all of it. It said, you have be quickened who were dead in trespasses and sins, because you were in your reproach. He said, where in time past you walked according to the course of this world, according to the prince of the power of the air, the Ruach that now work in the children of disobedience, which took us back to what we read in Revelation about unclean spirits and all manner of hateful birds in that place, because you're walking according to the breadth of where you're at. So you're walking according to the rule of which they live by. We're supposed to be again, that takes us back to what? We know the spirit of truth and the spirit of error. Because greater is he that is in you than he that is in the world. If you don't have the Ruach in you, how could you overcome those who don't? You'll be privy to fall victim to what they're doing. He said, among whom also we all had our conduct in times past, in the lust of the flesh, feeling the desires of the flesh and of the mind, and were by nature the children of wrath, even as others. So Paul is letting us know that that behavior allows you to be open to wrath, because what does Proverbs 14 say? His wrath is against him that caused shame. Sin is a reproach to any people. This is why you see those women saying, oh, we need that off of us. Because where dishonor from Yahuwah is, where his wrath is. I don't think people really understand that. Sin is not cool. All that stuff dudes be taking, we all sin daily. How you hear the word and you sin it, we got to repent every day. So you mean to tell me you got to turn from sin every day? I just want to ask y'all a question outside of what y'all know. Does that make any sense? Like, just take, if you don't know no book and somebody tells you, you got to repent every day. So what am I turning from every day? This be they can't. You got to turn from your thoughts. Miss me with that. Because the book say to bring your thoughts into captivity. You can think all you want to think, but did you do it though? You know what I'm saying? Because what does the book say? The flesh is contrary to the word. It's not subject to it. Neither indeed can be. The problem is what we read here in Ephesians, if you fulfill that desire. See, you got a lot of men out here, they want to have sex with men. A lot of women out here, they want to have sex with a woman. They fulfill that desire. I remember I heard Charles Barkley when I was a jet say every man that had thoughts of having sex with a man. I'm like, well, what type of man are you? I'm like, nigga, what? What type of men you hang around? Y'all sitting around have a conversation? Well, you ever thought about hitting Charles? I thought about it sometimes. That nigga said every man.
I mean, every man.
I was just appalled because I'm like, well, I hope every man doesn't think that way. But he shared a locker room with the same niggas.
Right, so he might be getting fed on trash.
No, but I remember that. I'll never forget that long as I live. That nigga said every man. You know, because I've never heard nothing like it before nor after. Absolutely. It means you want to do wrong and give in. Like this here, right? You ain't gay, you know. Then I showed up video of a dude talking about I use my 2 penis sucks. He said on who? Tank said if you do it, you're not gay. It was a comedian clowning Tank. And he made a video about it telling this old lady that he had done that. That nigga say, you know, I used my 2, man. She said, well, who you use your first one on? The nigga said, I just did it just to do it. Then the nigga was like, he used it on his boss to get a raise. Comedian. He called his junk scenarios, funny scenarios. That's what he came up with. That's what he came up with. But it was just his point was to show how stupid that sounds by saying that you can suck a man's penis 2 times and you're not a homosexual. You a lot of things in life, but you certainly a homosexual. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Bisexual. That's not crazy though. Just the fact that a grown man sat around and thought in his head that, you know what? I'm gonna put this man's penis in my mouth. Nigga, you gay for the thought. You know what I'm saying? You gay for the thought. You didn't even have to fulfill the action. The fact you thought about it. I wonder what it'd be like. Use a pump. Use a pump. Because like this here, I don't even know how that even ran across your mind. What would it be like? What you mean? I feel like James Brown. How you got pleasure out of that, son? I'm just saying, that nigga said it. I didn't say it. And that nigga Tank gave in. So guess what that make him? So that's what your man said. And what he told your man, you ain't never thought about being with a man. That nigga's a punk. Ain't a Dale no. Grown nigga sitting around thinking about sleeping with another dude. Nigga, you is gay. Tell him again, Dale. Dale say he good. He don't want to mess with a nigga no more. Let's continue. But Elohim, who is rich in mercy, for his great love, wherein he loved us, even when we were dead in sins, have quickened us together with a Mashal. By grace you are saved, and have raised us up together and made us sit together in heavenly places in Yahushua HaMashiach, that in the ages to come he might show the exceeding riches of his grace and his kindness towards us through Yahushua HaMashiach. For by grace are you saved through faith, and that is not of yourselves, it's a gift of Elohim. This is why the grace, the king's favor, is towards a wise servant. Let me get that word. The word for favor is ratzon. That's the word y'all should remember. Ratzon. You know, goodwill, favor, acceptance. You know, Ra, Sad, U, and Nun. So you already know it, Yahusha is the way that secures life. Period. And you can't get that but through faith. Because you already know that, Yahusha. That's why I read that part with the king in Psalm 21. You know what I'm talking about? Because he said he asked life of you and he gave it to him. Because what did Yahushua say on the stake? In my hands, I commend my Ruach. Say, Abba, in your hands, I commend my Ruach. I commit that over to you. Because I know that you'll give me my desire. Because his desire is in John 17. Did he not ask that he make him like to give him the esteem that he had with him before the foundation of the world? These are the things that he asked for. And that favor was towards Yahushua because he was a wise servant. Everything that he was supposed to do, he did. Which takes us back to a just man gives an inheritance to his sons, and the wealth of the sinner is laid up for the just, and in that righteousness exalting a nation, because Yahushua is the righteousness of Elohim, which exalts the children of Yasharal back to where they were at, and it turns around and shows you how the king's favor is towards the wise servant because he accepted Yahushua. See, that's the thing what people don't understand. Yahuwah is not going to accept you without Yahushua, period. He's not going to accept you. You're not going to get accepted outside of Yahushua. That's why he said if you try to go up any other way, you are a thief and a robber. That's why he say, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man can come unto the Father but by me. You're going to have to go through him. And what do most people try to do? Go around him. Because why are you trying to go around him? Because you don't really believe in Yahuwah. Because in order to get that favor, that faith has to be there. Then through that faith, that's how you overcome. And then once you overcome, that's how you get the inheritance. How are you going to overcome something if you don't even believe why you're enduring to overcome it to get the thing that was promised to begin with? You're not going to do it. You're going to fold. You know what I'm saying? And you're going to give in to that desire. You know what? I'm going to drink that big bottle of Henny. I'm going to have sex with this woman tonight. I'm going to tell that lie. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to worship that idol. That's how that happens. Drop down about verse 13. Well, now make it 11. He said, wherefore remember that you being in time past Gentiles in the flesh who are called uncircumcision by that which is called circumcision in the flesh made by hands. That at that time you were without Mashiach, being aliens from the commonwealth of Yasharal, strangers from the covenants of promise, having no hope without Elohim in the world. I don't know how dudes say that's the northern kingdom. Did the northern kingdom have hope? Yes, they did. How do we know that? Hosea chapter 2. Because that was not written to the house of Judah. That was written to the house of Israel. And he said, in the place where you were called, that you say you were called not the people, the same place you'll be called the sons of the living Elohim. So you can sell that to a nigga who don't know the word. They weren't aliens and strangers. How could Yasharal be a stranger of a covenant that they were present for? There wasn't no Israel and Judah when that covenant was made. Because the nation hadn't been split. By the time the nation had been split, that covenant had been in effect for a long time. He said, but now in Mashiach Yahusha, ye who were sometimes far off are made nigh by the blood of Mashiach. And you can read certain places in the book of Isaiah when he say those that are far off. Call out to the isles, referring to the Gentiles. Say, for he is our shalom, who have both made one and broken down the middle wall of partition between us, have abolished in his flesh the enmity, even the Torah of commandments contained in ordinances, for to make himself twain one new man, so making shalom, that he might reconcile both under Elohim in one body, the stake having slain the enmity thereby, and came and preached shalom to you which are far off, and to those that were near. What does that mean? Well, that takes us back to those 3 flocks of sheep that we mentioned. And when he say contained in ordinances, because what did the ordinance tell you not to fool with? Don't fool with the Canaanite, the Hittite, the Jebusite, the Hivite. Don't fool with these people. Don't make no marriages with them. Don't give your sons to their daughters. Don't take your daughters to your sons. Hamashiach cut all that down so it could just be one body. Can't have no divisions. How do we see that? Because what does Numbers 15 say? One man of Torah. For you and for the stranger. That's what it say, right? Stuff right there, man. Stuff simple. Now let's go back to Isaiah 4. Muffin boy. Hey, Muffin boy. You got pockets in your shirt. You have quarterback pockets in your shirt. Clearly you don't care. Isaiah 4 and 2. Now remember, right, it said that those 7 women would come to that one man. Who was those 7 women representative of? The 7 congregations in the book of Revelation. That one man is Yahusha. So now when he says this, right, look at what the next verse says. In that day shall the branch of Yahuwah be beautiful, and esteemed, and the fruit of the earth shall be excellent and comely for them that are escaped of Yasharal. That don't sound like nothing to do with nobody get no 7 wives. And it shall come to pass, and he that is left in Zion, and he that remain in Jerusalem, shall be called Kadash, everyone that is written among the living in Jerusalem. Now you got the Lamb's Book of Life. Notice he say those that are escaped, because everybody at Yasharal ain't getting in. When the Lord had washed away the filth of the daughters of Zion, and had purged the blood of Jerusalem from the midst thereof by the ruach of judgment and by the ruach of burning. Remember what he told you, that furnace of affliction. And not only that, he said, I baptize with water, but he that come behind me baptized with fire and the ruach hakadash, or to purge. Because what did we just read last night? He said, I counsel you to buy gold and meat tried in the fire. You ever seen what happened to gold in the fire? I've never seen it personally, but I read about it. Say, get all the impurities out, all the trash out. That's the same thing, for lack of a better description, what happened when you cook cocaine. It gets all the impurities out of the cocaine, but where it's pure. That's why crack was more addictive. You know what I'm saying? You sit back and you look at it, when you in sin, Yahuwah can't, he got to put that fire to you. I got to get that stuff up out of you. I got to bring it to the top, bubble it to the top, and remove it. Because if I don't put the fire to it, then it remains. Then I gotta cut you. Ain't that right, little man? Then I gotta cut you. Say, now I gotta cut you. Say hello. You see the people, say hello. You don't.
That's how we pasteurize something like all the minerals and bacteria.
Yeah. Definitely is. The worst part with pasteurization for food is it's bad for us because it takes all the nutrients out. You know, that's ain't that right? Yeah. It said Yahuwah will create upon every dwelling place of Mount Zion, and upon our assemblies a cloud of smoke by day and a shining flaming fire by night. For upon the esteem, all the esteem shall be a defense. And there shall be a tabernacle for a shadow in the daytime from the heat, and a place of refuge, and for a covert from storm and from rain. So really Isaiah chapter 4 is really dealing with the kingdom of Yahuwah. You know what I'm saying? And everlasting salvation. And everyone who would be there will have protection and be without sin. Because if you're written in the Lamb's Book of Life, guess what you ain't did? Because what does the law say? What did Yahuwah say to Moses by his book? He that sinned, I'll blot out my book. You know what I'm saying? So that's why sin is a reproach to any people. That's why he that causeth shame, the wrath of Yahuwah is on his head. Matthew 13 and 30. What's up, Lil Dale? See, you ain't never frail. I see you back there cheesing, Lil Dale. What you teasing? Lil Dale. That's one of the reasons why Yahushua kept saying woe to the scribes and the Pharisees, because they were bringing shame. Same way when they said let that blood be on their children, you done brought wrath, let that shame be on your head. Well, 13 and 36 is what I need. Matthew 13 and 36. Then Yahushua sent the multitude away and went into the house, and the disciples came unto him, saying, declare unto us the parable of the tares of the field. He answered and said, unto them, he that sowed the good seed is the Son of Man. The field is the world. The good seed are the sons of the kingdom. The tares are the sons of the wicked one. The enemy that sowed them is the devil. The harvest is the end of the world, and the reapers are the Malachim. As therefore the tares are gathered and burned in the fire, so shall it be at the end of this world. The Son of Man shall send forth his Malachim, and they shall gather out of his kingdom all things that offend, and them which do iniquity, and shall cast them into a furnace of fire, and there shall be wailing and gnashing of teeth. Then shall the righteous shine forth as the sun in the kingdom of their Father. He that have ears to hear, let him hear. Verse 47. He said again, the kingdom of Shamahim is like unto a net that was cast into the sea, and gathered of every kind, which when it was full, they drew to the shore and sat down and gathered the good in the vessels, but cast the bad away. So shall it be at the end of the world. The Malachim shall come forth and sever the wicked from among the just. And there shall come into cast them into the furnace of fire, and there shall be a wailing and gnashing of teeth. Now notice the difference. Because again, the king's favor is to a wise servant. Well, what made a person wise? To fear Yahuwah. Well, how do you fear Yahuwah? Because you heard the gospel and you believed it. But if you don't fear the God, if you don't hear the gospel and you believe it, then you would be an unwise servant. Matter of fact, it's kind of the parable of the wise servant. When the dude asked that question, when Yahushua asked that question of the people, I should say, which one of them did their father's will when he told them to go into the field and labor? The one who repented and went, or when he gave the parable about the unjust steward? You know what I'm saying? Like when you do things to bring forth shame, Yahuwah gonna crash. But his favor's always been with the wise. That's horrible. His favor's always been with the wise. And we're talking about goodwill and acceptance. So how can we say, Yahushua, you say, we read it earlier, right? You be able to be made wise unto salvation, unto the gospel of Yahushua HaMashiach. That's what Paul wrote to Timothy. So if you don't have the gospel, you can't be made wise. And if you can't be made wise, then the king's favor cannot fall on you. So therefore, his wrath is going to fall on you because you brought shame. Because that man don't want nobody in his king. Imagine like this here, and we always use this as the extreme because it's the most pronounced thing. Because some people got murderers in their family and they're not ashamed. You know what I'm saying? You got a lot of people, they got people in their family, they have killed someone, and no one in the family is ashamed to say we have a murderer in the family. No one is ashamed to say I have a drug dealer in the family. But niggas be ashamed to say they got a sodomite in the family. You know what I'm saying? Just imagine you got a household of people. I mean, it's changed a little bit. Some of them now they just don't want to say it in the open. Yeah, you know James. Oh no, you still got some black folks that you know that's shame to the family. But bring your faggot butt around here. Yeah, but I don't think a lot of people. I don't think the family be shamed when they find out. There's a lot of niggas that, yeah, niggas get convicted of selling dope. He come back home. So nobody, oh, you got a drug dealer in the family. You know what I'm talking about? Got a murderer in the family. Yeah, skinny and grinning. That nigga a pump, dude. Hey, anime. Don't tell that nigga come on my house. Or the thing they tell him, don't let that nigga bring his boyfriend over here. Come on, man. You got niggas around here got 17 illegitimate children. Ain't nobody got a problem with none of them. Throwing baby showers for these niggas. They just a bastard child. Ain't nobody ashamed. What did I just tell you yesterday? Nigga like this here, I forgot about this. Golden Tate wanted to fight Jalen Ramsey because he left his sister after getting her pregnant the second time. Well, whole nigga, tell your sister stop being a hoe. You know what I'm talking about? Don't get mad at him because he left. Tell her she ought to stop popping her legs open to a nigga ain't married her yet. And you steady letting them skeet raw. Now you want to fight him. You know what I'm talking about? Shoot, nigga, fight your sister. She bringing shame on the family name. She done dishonored the house of Tate. You don't care nothing about that. You want to fight Jalen Ramsey. Your sister's the whore. Yeah, go and cut that root off. Your sister's a whore. You know what I'm saying? Now you want to get mad. I'm a single mama. You wanted to be ISIS anyway. That's what you wanted to be. You wanted to be the mother goddess. You got your witch. You ain't want that man around here no way. Bald-headed hoe. That's what you got to tell him. Because at the end of the day, that's what it is. Which one of y'all would fight somebody which one of y'all would fight your daughter if she let a nigga get her pregnant 2-3 times and he left her? You know what I mean? Fight him. You know what I'm saying? Now let's take in the fact that you know word. Let's take the word out of play. You was in the world, regular living, your daughter been with a dude, he get her pregnant 2-3 times, he leave her. You gonna fight him? No, I ain't gonna fight him. I'm gonna fight her. I'm gonna fight her the first time she walked through the door talking about, Daddy, I'm pregnant. Where you living at? You ain't living here. Depending on how old she is. You grown now, I mean, you know, it's a little different. You under 18, so I guess you all moving in together, huh? Yeah. You getting married? That was, you know what I mean? What's going on? You, yeah, you need help. You need help. Jesus gonna give because I ain't got nothing for you. Oh, moving your things? Sure. My statement still stands. I ain't helping you move nothing now. But get that nigga around here. He was moving out your drawers. Ever move out your stuff. You know what I'm talking about? You got to go. Now, if you're grown, that's a little different. You don't live here, you know. Be wiser. You know what I'm saying? He gets you pregnant the second time. Baby daddy, he left me. Well, clearly you're a whore. Clearly I failed at my job. I don't know what to tell you. You know, keep your legs closed. You knew that nigga wasn't about nothing after the first one. Yet you still let him go bareback. I taught you better than this. I'm going to get me a drink. I said, Daddy, you don't even drink. I drink tonight. I keep bottles. Talk to you for what? No, I'm saying he was upset, but I didn't understand why he was like, cool. I said, Cause you didn't come because Monte ain't come out my loins. Yeah. He trapped me. She trapped me. I mean, he looking at us sad with you. You don't let a nigga skeet in you again. You ain't married. I guess he was feeling. No, but I yeah, you his child. Mad at Monte for what? You the one standing here letting niggas get sample the milk. Nigga ain't bought the cow.
Yeah, then she was cool with it. Dang.
But that was his spirit, I guess. Like I would put my face on it, but I'm trying to pull my daughter.
What you mean? I guess. Now, oh, you know how you feel it? My daughter's a whore. That's how men think. My daughter's a whore.
I mean, but
straight up, and you ain't married. All the man think is his daughter around here having kids, and she ain't married. I done raised a whore.
I mean, he knew him, but he had known him for years. But I guess my thought is, I expected him to be mad at Monte, but he was really mad at me.
Why would he be mad at Monte? He a man. All men know one thing: you toot it, I'm gonna boo it. He already know that. I'm gonna boot it, nigga. That nigga say I done split the uprights. It's good. You see what I'm talking about? That's your life now. You know what I mean? A man, because you a woman, y'all don't think about that. He gonna be mad at Monte for what? Man, sit back looking at my daughter's a whore. What have I done? I ain't did enough. I'm a horrible father. That's how men feel if they really care about their daughter. You know what I'm saying? Some of them feel like, shoot, she was destined to be a hoe. Her mama was a hoe. Ask me how I know. Because I married this hoe. I've been miserable for 20 years. See, y'all women don't know, but see, men had these type of conversations. I can't do nothing with her. My daughter gonna be a hoe, man. She just like her mama. What am I gonna do? You wonder why a lot of niggas be drunk. I'm telling you. I can't do nothing. Nigga go in the back and get drunk. You know what I'm saying? There ain't no need. You know what I'm talking about? She don't come right here and have bastard churn I gotta take care of. I mean, look at her mammy. I got dude. Oh, now some nigga get due. We already talked about that. Got men border understanding. If you ain't been taught better, you don't know no better. You get due. You get due. Some fathers do this on their daughters. You see how Simeon and Levi felt. Who my sister ain't no hoe. You know, but culturally though, if a nigga came up on you, they were gonna boot it. You know what I'm talking about? I guess this is my husband now. We gonna work out the covenant and stuff later. Yeah, they were gonna boot it. They were gonna say, no, you can't have sex with me. Well, come on, sir. I know what come next. Covenant, and I'm gonna be with this nigga. You know what I'm talking about? You know what? Cuz really liked her. He really liked her. See, that's the root. Like I told you, that's the root. Look here, man. It's a lot of whores women out here. And they whores because their daddy wasn't there. And their daddy wasn't there because a lot of times he either didn't know what to do or the mama wouldn't allow him to do. I just felt like this before the word. I'm glad I ain't had no kid because my daughter would have went out the door how some of these young girls be dressed or how some of y'all dressed when y'all was a kid. I'd have went to jail because I'd have killed her and they man. Do you know what I'm talking about? Slap the fire. So we don't raise no hoe. Bah! I don't know why you let her come out the door like that. Nigga be like, what you in here for? Hitting women? I slapped that hoe dead in her face. My daughter titties was all out in the street. Booty cheeks hanging out in the show. I ain't on that.
That's actually funny she said it because the Indian man killed his daughter because she was trying to run away and be with her boyfriend.
I ain't on that. No, I ain't on that. And you just gotta let her live her life. Y'all finna live at the cemetery. Come forgive both you, hoe. You know what I'm talking about? I ain't on that. Nigga be around here talking about nigga got my daughter all up in here running trains, hucked and buck. No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. It ain't gonna go out like that. Every man should feel like that. Your daughter's chastity is a very, very precious thing. You know what I'm talking about? Niggas around here willy-nilly let their old lady sending her out here looking like a $2 slut. Bet you lying. All the little boys at school salivating over your child. No, I'm good. I'm a killer. You know what I'm talking about? I'm talking about that mammy. Because especially you get in the word afterwards, and now you gotta, depending on how old the child is, now you gotta try to double back. You know what I'm saying? And hit them off with that. Of course, saying with me, when I hit the word, if I'd have had a child around that time, they'd have been almost 10, 12 years old. You know what I'm talking about? They ain't trying to hear all that. They see wearing crop tops and halter top. Look at all these young girls out here with leggings on. I drop kick their mom in their mouth. You know what I'm saying? You got a print all out here in the street. Look at that. She looks like a street walker. That's the style. Putting dog hair in my child head. You got little girls in elementary school weaving lashes on. Man, come on, man. I'm talking about shooting. This what you taking my money and doing it with? Don't worry about it, because I'm going to put this money in my commissary, because I'm going to prison. And you going to meet the Lord. Straight up. That's how you should feel. Guess what? Because you know why? Because the women like, it's my child. I can do what I want to with it. The hell you say? That child got my name and DNA come first. Your DNA don't come first. My DNA supersedes yours. Supersede. So I'm finna supersede my foot right in the crack of your behind. Wow. That's how you supposed to feel. You gotta protect your daughter, man. Cause shoot, you seen what happened. We done talked about this before. You seen what the book say, don't cause your daughter to be a whore, cause the land to fall in the whoredom. You see them what happened. You see what happened? Who ain't lied? You done made your daughter profane, she common, and look what the world done did. And now nobody can't tell her that she wrong, and everything that she do is right. You know what I'm talking about? Because niggas done lost their nuts. Hey man, just walk away from that. Cause that coochie ain't that serious for you to have a miserable life. She don't want to listen. She don't want to obey. You know what I'm talking about? When I'm talking about obey Yahuwah. Because if she ain't gonna obey Yahuwah, she's certainly not gonna listen to you. You know what I'm talking about? If she ain't gonna obey Yahuwah, she definitely ain't gonna listen to you. Just let her go. It ain't worth it. All that talking about I want to pray and work it out. You damn fool. If you ain't married to that woman, you better run for the hills. If she's showing you she hate Yahuwah now, what you waiting for? Don't get up out of there. She love Yahuwah and she got a little faults and follies and foibles and things of that nature. Well, you know, show a little patience. But you ain't got to marry her till she work all that out, though. Like I told you, we've been talking about it many, many times. The book don't never warn a woman about no man. Because never in the history of scripture did a woman go around picking a man. But men pick women, and they usually pick wrong. Then you got to protect your daughter. Because then guess what? If you don't teach your daughter right, then that clearly he ain't going to be taught right. So he going to pick a stupid woman, and then the cycle continues. You know what I'm saying? Just a bunch of stupid people breeding more stupid churn, and then we complaining why black people can't get right. Because you niggas breed wrong. He cute. I like his outfit. Look at his shoes. You know it is what it is, man. We got to get up out of here, man. Hallelujah for y'all who's trying the word. We'll continue down this road of this stuff we looking at y'all willing on Wednesday. I appreciate everybody's time. Bless everybody out the house of Yahuwah in the name of Yahushua. I might sound like I was joking, but I meant every word I said, though. And that's in this series, you have to protect your daughter. Like, how would y'all feel right now if we could fast forward 10, 15 years and you find out your daughter's a whore? See, that junk, I've been telling you that junk hit a man right here. It's two things that make a man crumple, take the breath out of his lungs. My son a punk and my daughter's a whore. You know what I'm saying? Come home, your son talking about, don't call me that there. My name ain't Bruce no more, it's Caitlin. Oh, I'm for the kid in my life. Nigga, what? You got a trainer in the family? Hey man, y'all willing to the next time, man. We'll keep on going through this because there's a lot of information that we still need to impart on those 2 verses in Proverbs 14. Get blessings out the house of Yahuwah, man. Appreciate y'all. This world is just insane and upside down. Yahuwah willing, keep your faith strong, keep standing on the word, purge yourself, and if you're naming yourself after the name of Mashiach, get iniquity out your heart, mind, and soul, that you might be made perfect and your soul might be saved. Yes. What you mean, what I'm doing? What you doing?
Nothing.
What you doing?
Nothing.